Greetings and peace. In today's presentation, I would like to focus on Harvester, which is a 1996 point-and-click adventure game. And someone like myself who's been through the world of Freemasonry and other initiatic paths, I was able to see many parallels in this video game in terms of the occult teachings and symbolism that is there. So, and I'm someone who's actually been through all of it. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy it. And again, I represent myself only as a free man under free speech for entertainment purposes. Now, this game is basically teaching us that reality is basically a controlled simulation and matrix. This presentation explores the 1996 cult video game Harvester as an occult parable, mirroring Masonic structure of ritual, manipulation, and simulated reality. The lodge that's shown within the game parallels esoteric institutions that mask control through symbolism, ritual obedience, and illusion. By comparing Steve Mason's initiatory path to Masonic rites, we unravel the deeper narrative of Harvest, that reality itself may be an elaborate occult encoded program, such as what we see with gematria and how everything is done by the numbers and how there's a right time and right place for things and events and stuff like that to take place. And look at the name, right? Steve Mason. And it shows you how everything in Steve's reality was controlled and stimulated, which was just leading him towards the lodge. That was the whole goal of everything. The town of Harvest is not a town, it's a closed circuit. A simulation layered in contradiction, false memory, and symbolic puppetry. Every character plays a role, yet none seem real. This artificiality mirrors the concept of the profane world in occult teachings, a stage, a veil behind which true forces operate. The surface is safe, the truth is ritual. And for those that have followed my work and journey, you know that in the Masonic path is basically, it's all egregore related. And that's what the whole thing is about. Like there's an outer temple that you see, right? And then there's an inner circle, an inner temple, which you don't see. And it gets revealed through stages. Now with Steve Mason, Steve awakens with no memory, a classic esoteric symbol of rebirth. He is the neophyte, the uninitiated, unaware of the path he must walk. In occult initiation, one must, quote-unquote, die to the profane and be reborn through trial. Steve's journey is not to remember, but to be made, echoing Masonic initiation rites where knowledge is granted only through obedience and ordeal. And how basically, like when he goes through the whole lodge process, right? Where they tell him it's all for enlightenment and how he's given tasks and things which help him move up the chain. Now, the lodge, right? The lodge in Harvester is no simple building. It is a temple of layers. Each floor brings new horrors, new tasks. Each is a test, an initiation ritual, eerily aligned with Masonic degrees. The deeper Steve goes, the more symbolic the violence becomes, culminating in the annihilation of morality. Like the esoteric ladder, it promises truth, but only through submission. So it's not just about becoming a master mason. There are levels to this thing, right? Even in the Masonic world where you have invitation-only circles and bodies, stuff you can't petition or apply for. It's definitely like an inner circle within an inner circle. And the higher you go, the more you see people's true faces. And that is the absolute fact and reality, which I have seen myself too in my journey, on how like the whole system of control and illusion and manipulation really works. To ascend the lodge, Steve must commit acts of depravity, ritualistic violence presented as necessity. This mirrors the idea in some conspiracy theories that trauma is used in occult programming to fracture identity and impose control. The game teaches in a subtle way compliance through trauma, growth through horror, transformation through blood. Now, what you look at is the aspect of how the Masonic egregore affects your life, which I've shown here in previous videos and presentations for those that are new to the channel, on how the egregore affects your health, your relationships, your mind, your sanity, just your relation with your loved ones. It affects all aspects of your life where you're never really the same person again. And that's exactly what it is. The higher up you go, yes, you will be given knowledge, but that knowledge also comes with a price as well. In the video game of the Harvester, NPCs and false realities, it's there, the sleepwalkers. Every NPC in Harvester acts like a puppet on a loop. Scripted lines, robotic behavior, dead eyes. This is the world of the unawakened, the profane. A dream simulation where only the initiated question. The townspeople echo Gnostic themes and occult teachings. The masses are asleep, unaware they're imprisoned. The illusion is not hidden, it's simply normalized. And that's exactly what it is. When you really awaken, then reality totally shifts in a different way. Like your world is never the same again. Like those that know, they know that once you go through certain initiatic orders and rites, you don't see reality the same way anymore, or be satisfied in the world and its illusions. As Steve descends deeper, cracks form. The simulation shows seams. This is the red pill, the moment of gnosis. The lodge reveals itself not as a place of truth, but of programming. Symbols are not decorative, they're instructions. Steve doesn't escape, he completes the loop. And that's pretty much it. That's the reality that we're dealing with, is most people don't realize that nothing in this world works the way that you think it does. Now I look at myself, my journey from my childhood up until now, and everything seems like an occult programming or pushing me in a certain direction to walk the path that I'm currently walking. It's like it was all pre-programmed, right? The people that I was supposed to run into and whatever they influenced me or made an impression on me, and the things that I subsequently did in terms of searching knowledge or heading down certain paths, which would eventually lead me to A, B, and C. So it's all basically a reality encoded that we're living in. And that's exactly what it is. And that's exactly it. Like when you look into gematria and things like that, you see that Freemasonry often uses symbols to encode esoteric truths. But in Harvester, symbols are also tools of control. The lodge is a temple, a brain, a machine. Degrees become programming layers. The game becomes a meta message that what if our world, like Steve's, is run by symbolic programming? What if ritual isn't metaphor but mechanism? And the systems of control that we're dealing with today. At the end of the game, you're given two choices for those that have played it. Steve must choose, become the next leader of the lodge or be destroyed. But both options are pre-scripted. The system presents rebellion as part of its design. Like many esoteric teachings, Harvester hints that choice itself may be an illusion. Control persists whether we accept or reject it. And no matter what choice you make, the intended result will always correct itself, right? Like a node of time. It will always correct itself, no matter what choice was made to suppress it or alter it. And that's exactly it. That's what is shown in the game. And from the Islamic esoteric truth, they tell us that when we die from this life is when we awaken in the next. It's that's the real one. And this game is interesting because it came out 9 years before the Matrix movie in 1996, while the first Matrix came out in 1999. And how the exact same situation is shown when Steve dies in the main game. He wakes up in this real reality, like in a Matrix type situation. And that Imam Ali alayhi salam from the Islamic tradition tells us too that this life is basically a dream, and what we're worried about here doesn't really matter. When we wake up, we're just going to laugh at all of this. If you look at Rumi, Imam Ali alayhi salam, it's all the same teaching that's being expressed on this Masonic encoded reality that we're in. The genius of Harvester lies in its disguise. It's not just satire, it is a mirror, a metaphor, a ritual. The lodge is not just in game, it is a symbol for every institution that cloaks control and morality, every system that teaches obedience through fear. The lodge is everywhere if you can see it. And that is the truth of this encoded reality that we're in, that basically from a point of view that just try to do the good that you can with the time that you've been given in this world, and know that sometimes things around you might be there to misguide you or manipulate you, and sometimes friends and family who you think have your best interests might be your handlers or might be there to guide you towards a certain path or keep an eye on you. Just love everyone equally, but have the same boundary and discernment when you need to have it. Trust your inner gut and institution in your heart. And it's like what Rumi says, like meditate and listen to that voice that doesn't speak. Or how in the Bible, in the book of Psalms, it tells you, be still and know I am God. Trust your inner intuition. We're not just here for any reason. There is a reason why we're all here. Even though this reality is fake and encoded, and there's all these elements between light and dark that are out to get us, as it's shown in this game. But just do the right thing with the time that you've been given in this world. And I'm telling you, as someone who's been through these different systems and orders, as I see the symbolism in this game. Thank you for watching. If any questions or comments, please email me at salmanshake911@gmail.com. All images used were retrieved from public domain searches and are the rightful property of their respective owners. The images used in this video are for the purpose of nonprofit awareness and education, which is protected by the copyright laws of fair use. All my videos are for nonprofit and education purposes. Thank you. All rights reserved.